Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to the client success interview with Nicole. I am super excited for you to hear Nicole's story. She is a very inspirational mom and nurse and wife and awesome person. Welcome, Nicole. Welcome, everybody who's watching. If you are watching us live, say hello. If you are on the replay, give us a hashtag replay. Let us know that you are here. And I want to welcome Nicole. Like I said, she's just an awesome person. She has been in my program for the last 4 months, and she just has a really amazing, inspirational story. She works really hard to take care of herself now. So I just want you all to hear her story and hopefully inspire you that you know that you can also feel better no matter where you at, how busy you are, how old you are, that there is hope and there's always a way for you to feel better. So welcome, Nicole.
Thanks.
Would you like to just give us a little background about you and your life and all of that fun stuff?
Yeah. So I am married. So I'm a wife to Dean. We've been married almost 17 years, together a little over 23. We have 2 kids. I have a 14-year-old son, Cole, and 11-year-old daughter, Addison. I'm a nurse. I've been a labor and delivery nurse for over 16 years and very passionate about it. It's all I've ever done. And, I get to see miracles every single day and super busy. Very busy life, a lot going on.
Super busy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. And, I think that's one of the things as moms that we really focus on all of the things that we need to be doing, taking care of the kids, working, taking care of the house. And sometimes we forget that we need to take care of ourselves and that is so important so that we can take care of all those other things.
Absolutely.
So was that something that you were feeling a few months ago, that you were just sort of neglecting taking care of yourself a little bit?
Absolutely. I mean, that's my life. I'm a nurse, I'm a caregiver, so I take care of people. And, from day one, I've taken care of my kids. So, and they both have autoimmune diseases. So there's been a lot of struggles with them through the years, just dealing with their symptoms and getting diagnoses and now going through treatment. So it's always constant. And again, just always taking care of them. I always felt like I just didn't have time to take care of myself, because if I wasn't taking care of the kids, or if I wasn't at work taking care of my patients, I had a house to take care of. I had a husband. So definitely always put myself on the back burner.
Yeah. And I think that's just a really common thing.
Yeah.
So, if that's something that anyone out there is going through, like, don't beat yourself up about it. Don't feel bad about it, because it is a really common thing. And it's such a wonderful thing to want to take care of other people. But tell us a little bit about how you felt when you came to me, and sort of the journey of how you came to start taking care of yourself again.
Yeah, I was pretty miserable all the time. I was tired, just major fatigue. I did not sleep well. I went to sleep tired. I woke up tired. I've never really been a morning person, so I do still tend to struggle with that. But once I get up moving around, I'm awake. I have energy, where before it would take me a couple hours to get that energy. So even though I still don't particularly like mornings, my body has definitely gotten used to it and I feel better with it. And with the exhaustion, it's just like never wanted to do anything. Bloated, would always joke. I was like, I can look at food and I can get bloated. I don't even need to eat it. So always miserable after I ate. Obese, not really a fun thing to say out loud, but my BMI was definitely greater than 30, which puts me in the obese category. I was constipated, was not regular with my bowel movements. And if I did go to the bathroom, it was never easy. So pretty much every aspect of what I was going through was miserable.
And taking care of 2 kids with health issues and taking care of all your patients.
Yeah.
Like that's a challenge. And no wonder you were exhausted. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about sort of, your experience of starting to take care of yourself and really how that progressed into how you feel now.
So, I mean, I think a lot of people can relate yo-yo diets or doing one thing and falling off the bandwagon. And I've done all of that. We do weight loss challenges every year at work at the beginning of the year. I've done those. I even won it one year, but put the weight right back on because I stopped doing what I was doing to win all that weight loss challenge money. I did do Beachbody for a couple years, had a really great coach. It was awesome, a community of other people that were doing the same thing. But again, the switch flipped and I fell off that bandwagon and again, just kind of put that weight back on. And every time I put the weight back on, it was always more than I was when I started whatever I was doing at that time. I'm an emotional eater, and with the very crazy life that I have, and like I said, with my kids being diagnosed, there's a lot of emotions that go on. So when you're an emotional eater, it's just you eat all the time and you just put that weight on. So for me, I knew that whatever I did next, and I had friends that would say, oh, come to the gym with me. Oh, let's do this. Oh, let's do that. Well, like I said, I didn't have the energy to do that. I was exhausted. My mindset wasn't there. I wasn't ready for it. And then I knew that whatever I did was going to have to be a total life change. And when you hear it's cliche, oh, it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle, but it truly, truly is. And it wasn't just about changing what I ate. There was so much more to this program and than just eating.
Absolutely. So what were some of your ultimate goals that you had for yourself through this program? Besides, like, obviously, losing weight is a big deal. We feel better about ourselves when we lose weight, but what were some of your other goals besides that?
Well, I wanted to have energy. I wanted to be able to do stuff with my kids. There's plenty of times that they even asked me to do stuff and I was like, I'm really tired. I've had a busy day, or just wasn't emotionally, physically, mentally there to be able to do all that stuff. So I really wanted to do that, be more in the moment with my family and my kids. Wanted to feel better about everything because, even with that exhaustion and deep down knowing that I just told my kids no, like it hurts a mama's heart, and I don't want that for my kids. I wanted to be there for them, but depression is an evil thing. And it's really hard to push through it sometimes. So that for sure, I'm young and I'm on blood pressure medication. I've been on blood pressure medication for years. And, we say, oh, it's hereditary. It is. And there are some things that we can't fight because of hereditary, but I feel at this point I could still fight that because I am young and I know what I was doing wasn't healthy for my body. So one of the goals that I have with my practitioner is to work on getting off blood pressure medications. And if it doesn't work, if I can't do it, I'm okay with it because I know what I've done. I've done the right thing to try to be able to do that. So, and that's a huge change too, the mindset of it, because 6 months ago, if I would have said that, I probably would have been really upset about the fact that I couldn't get off blood pressure medication and I'd feel bad and, well, this isn't worth it. And let me go ahead and eat that pizza dipped in ranch dressing and all that fun stuff that, I used to do before. So really just being more in the moment and being healthier for myself so that I can be around longer for my family.
Yeah, I love that because it really is like, yes, do we want to get rid of our bloating? Of course, it's uncomfortable. We don't like it. Do we want to be constipated? No, but it really is about so much more than just getting rid of the physical symptoms.
Mhm.
It is about being present in your own life and being able to enjoy your own life. And
Yeah.
for your kids to see what you're doing too is, I think it's just absolutely it gives me goosebumps. Like every time you tell me a story about your kids, my heart just swells. So if you don't mind sharing about some of the things that your kids have said to you, I would love to hear.
Yeah. You always hear your kids see and hear everything you do, even if you don't know you're saying or doing it, if you don't think that they are. And sometimes we could say all the things that we want to say, but until you actually go through it, it's hard to understand. And this has truly been a moment where my kids do see it. So part of my routine, and again, goes back to, it's more than just the food. It's more than just eating, is I do self mantras in the morning. Excuse me. And so I have a bunch of sticky notes on my bathroom mirror, and I write quotes up there, just kind of all kinds of positive affirmations. Some of the things are just things that I've struggled with and things that I'm trying to work on to see things through different lenses. And I do my gratitude on my mirror. So I write things that I'm grateful for every day. And my daughter, who's 11, one day put a note up on my mirror that said, "Mommy, I'm proud of you." And just to see that and read it and know that nobody told her to do that. She did that because she wanted to do that.
It's on my brain to do that.
And my son, the same thing, what was it? Maybe it was in my birthday card. He wrote a note in my birthday card too about how proud he was. So it's constant. They see it, and my patience with them is a lot better. So there's been a lot of changes for them that they see.
And that really is such a huge thing for them to see what you're doing and see how you feel better. And
Right.
that, it's a lot more than just being told, eat this because it's healthy. But when you
Right.
actually see it happen in real life, then that'll be so impactful for them. They'll always remember that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell us now, like, how are your digestive issues? How has that all been for you? Since that's pretty much, if you're in this group, it's for women with digestive issues. So I'm sure everyone's curious about how that is all played out.
Yeah, so it really all kind of started with one of your apps and talking about how it really starts with before you even eat and putting the food on the table and looking at it and being thankful for it and enjoying it. So really, it really even started. That was one of the first things I started doing before I even joined you with the Happy Belly method. I really, and my family was probably like, "Oh my gosh, here she goes again." Because I'd be like, "Be mindful, chew slowly, you're eating too fast." And, so I learned that, again, it's way more than just eating. So I took my time. I'm typically a pretty fast eater. I'm a nurse, so I have to eat fast if at work. I have kids growing up, so they take a lot of time. I got to do things, for them. So, it was always constantly, I got to eat fast. I got to do this. So really taking the time to eat my food, enjoy my food, really helped with a lot of the bloating and feeling miserable after I ate. I don't get bloated anymore after I eat. I have regular bowel movements every day, and I feel great. Like I said, I've got so much energy. I feel better.
And you work like, how long are your shifts?
I do 3 12-hour shifts a week.
Yeah.
And
So to have that
and it-
much energy for those shifts it's important, necessary.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, like we were saying, of course, it's more than just getting rid of the bloating and the constipation, but those are red flags that something else is going on in the body. Like, it's not just getting rid of the symptoms because they're uncomfortable, but we want to get rid of those things, get to the root cause of why they're happening so that worse things don't happen down the road. Right. So talk a little bit about how the difference in how you now feel about your future and some things that you can now do because you feel so much better and your body is working right.
Well, I think the biggest thing is I want to. Like, I have that desire to. I've got that desire to do more things with my kids, go out and do something, even if it's, mommy, can we go to the park? Before there was always something, I was tired, I didn't feel like going. And now we want to do that, vacations have always been a difficult thing for our family because with my kids' autoimmune disease, it causes a lot of stress and anxiety if we're not in our norm, which made it difficult to enjoy the time. But now being able to cope a lot better with that because I feel better, I have more clarity, I have more calm, it's a lot easier to handle those situations. So, really wanting to go and do those things now and knowing how to handle those situations better.
And you just got to enjoy a girls' weekend.
I did. And I felt great.
Yeah.
Like I didn't feel miserable at all. I ate some things that I hadn't eaten in a while, but I was mindful when I did eat them. I didn't overindulge like I would have normally. I mean, I would have eaten until my belly hurt, and that didn't happen. It didn't happen. It was great.
Makes the vacation more enjoyable when you're not worried about your belly, right? And feeling miserable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. I was looking at your pictures and a couple little videos that were posted, and you just look so happy and look like you're just having the best time. So that's huge.
Great.
That's what it's all about, right? Like
Yeah.
being able to truly enjoy life.
Mm-hmm.
So exciting.
Yeah.
So if somebody out there has gut issues, is exhausted, isn't sleeping well, and they're on the fence about maybe joining the Happy Belly method, what would you say to them?
I would say that you deserve it. And it's not one of the things that I told my husband when I went to him about wanting to join the Happy Belly method is I said, there is no way I can't do this. Like, there's no way, I found you in a gluten-free Facebook group because I was trying to go gluten-free. I'm trying to get my kids to go gluten-free to help, make them feel better. And here you are posting about a 3-day workshop on leaky gut. And I was like, well, it's free. What do I have to lose? I knew what leaky gut was, but let me learn a little bit more. And I probably took 6-7 pages of notes over that 3-day weekend of your workshop. And I was like, there's just no way. You get to the bottom of it, you get to the root cause of what it is. It's not, like you say, it's not a Band-Aid. And I feel like that's what I needed. That's what didn't work with all those yo-yo diets. That's what didn't work with Beachbody, because the issues were still there. And I knew that if I was going to change anything, this is what I needed. I just did not feel like it was a lose situation. And it is so much more about eating. My mindset has changed. I have a totally different relationship with food now, where I normally would have been that emotional eater. And we still have high emotions going on in this house. So it's not like everything's been great for the last 4 months, but I've been able to use different tactics. I don't even think about it anymore. Originally when I think about it, I'd have to talk myself down, but I don't even think about that on emotional day. I don't think, okay, what am I going to eat? I got to eat something. What is in here? I don't do that. And if I do eat something, and one of the things that I loved, and I tell people all the time now when they say cheat, is it's not a cheat, it's a treat, because we do still deserve that nothing bundt cake that a patient brought you to thank you for taking care of them, but when I brought it home, I shared it with my family instead of eating the whole thing. So, and truly enjoying it when I ate it, as opposed to before I would have just ate it. So looking at life differently, doing the self mantras and talking to myself in a more positive way, and truly being grateful for the things that are around me, and starting my day that way, and and if I have a bad day, I'm not beating myself up on it, beat myself up about it like I used to. We're allowed to have bad days. We're allowed to have bad situations, but how are you going to handle it? And I feel like I handle those situations a lot better than I did. My anxiety is down. I don't feel depressed anymore. And it truly is a lifestyle change. And we're doing what our body was intended to do. So yeah, I say go for it. Can't lose.
And if you can fit it into your busy life, I feel like just about anybody can.
Yeah. And there's challenges along the way. We talked about those, my 12-hour shifts at work. Sometimes it's very hard to eat and, trying to figure out what the best thing to do is, or it's different for everybody. Do I eat my meal for lunch or do I eat it at night? Is if I don't leave work on time, because that very rarely happens, is it too late to eat? So I worked through all those things to figure out how it is going to fit into my busy life.
Mhm.
And there was a lot of tweaks along the way.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the whole process is so different for each person. And that's why when people just do cookie cutter programs or weight loss, diets, it really doesn't work for every person. And tailoring it to your root cause of your issues and your lifestyle is so important. And that's why we do the gut test, so that every single person, we can see their individual gut microbiome, because every person on the planet of all the 8 billion people has a different microbiome.
Mm-hmm.
So we really do need to tailor the program to the person. And
Yeah.
I think that's just a lot of what is missing when people try and get healthy. There's no one size fits all that's going to work for everybody.
Right.
So, but you were great, because you did go through a lot of ups and downs, but you knew that this is what you needed to do to feel better. So you put in the effort. You had some bad days, you had some great days, but at the end of the 4 months, it's like, now you see why you put in all that hard work. Like, you feel the results. You are rewarded with feeling good because you did put in the hard work, and your attitude was a lot of it. And that's such an important thing for yourself, but for your kids too, to see that. So I'm just really proud of you. Like, I get teary eyed when we talk, because you really are you're inspirational to me in so many ways. And I just love every time we talk, and I love hearing everything you have to say today. So thank you so much for sharing this with the group, because I do a lot of times think that people give up hope a little when they go see multiple doctors and the doctor says, all your tests came back normal, you can go home now. And they don't really know what their next steps are, or that there is hope of really feeling better. So I appreciate you sharing your story with us today.
Yeah, you're welcome. One other thing I want to add is, and I think this is huge, is you're not alone. It's a community. You've always been there for me, whether I shoot you 50 messages in a day or I don't talk to you. It's because I got this for the couple days. The calls on Fridays and just hearing everybody else's story and their wins and their questions and their, and knowing that there are other people that actually feel the same way you're feeling and have those same questions, so you're never alone. One other thing too is when one of my really good friends noticed that I had been losing weight, she asked me what I was doing, and then she asked me why I didn't share it with her originally. And I've done multiple weight loss challenges with her. And I said, because I needed to do this for me. I needed me mentally to know that this is what I have to do without having the opinions, the thoughts, encouragement's always nice. And I'm sure I would have gotten that, but I didn't want to rely on the fact that other people knew. And what if I disappointed them, or what if I messed up? I knew that what I was doing was for me, and I need to do it for myself. But we're all together. It's a great community. And like I said, you're never alone.
Yeah. Yeah. And we just got off our weekly group call that we do with the client group. And I said, I learn something new every week too, because I always learn from my clients, and having that like community aspect, I think is huge too. Feeling like you aren't doing it alone, and there's always going to be somebody there if you need something, I think is huge. Motivation, but also accountability, you know, like there's you've paid for a program. I'm going to be checking in on you. So a little bit of that accountability is there as well, instead of just kind of doing something on your own where you're not accountable to anybody else and no one's going to check on you. I think it's easier to just kind of give up in that scenario. So yeah, I love the community aspect of it. And I think as a group, we're always stronger than as individuals, you know, in these kinds of things. So I love that. Well, thank you again. I really appreciate it. And, you know, if you have any questions about the program, I think Nicole would be happy to answer them. So if anybody wants to post questions on this video or message me, please do. And I offer totally free phone calls for anybody who's interested in just talking about your goals and your health issues and where you want to be in the next 4 months. I offer totally free 45-minute phone calls to all of you. So I'll post a link under this video for the phone call. But everybody have a wonderful weekend. Nicole, have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
For having me.
All right. We'll talk soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.